Hi Sundaram, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm good too, thank you. So can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, I'm working as a test analyst in Infosys, and I have a 2 year and 8 months of experience as a test analyst. And uh, I am working in a agile-based web automation project. That is a banking web project,
Mm-hmm.
and I am actively participating in sprint planning, daily stand-up meeting, and other Scrum calls like retro and refinement. Uh, I am responsible for like Cypress automation, which is a JavaScript-based automation project. I also um, do the maintenance of existing automation suite and does the upgradation of the uh, automation suite if required. And I like automate the user stories, which whatever comes in the sprint. Manually, I do all kind of functional testing like regression, smoke, uh, and I do accessibility testing, cross-browser testing, mobile web testing on browser stack. I also have a very good knowledge of Selenium with Java. So
Okay,
these are the my responsibilities.
great, great. So how much would you rate yourself in terms of core Java? Let's say 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest.
Mhm.
So how would you rate yourself?
Well, I will rate myself 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, great. Fine. So can you tell us something about the difference between method overloading and method overriding?
Okay, so method overloading is like if a class has a method with same name, but it can have different parameters or different number of parameters.
Hmm.
That is called method overloading. And uh, overriding is like if a subclass has same method as its parent class, it is called overriding. I
Hmm.
think overriding is also kind of dynamic polymorphism.
Right, right. Then what else?
Uh, like overriding is mostly used for like inheritance,
Mm-hmm.
and overloading. I know the only is difference.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, no worries. See, if this question is being asked in a real-time interview, then you can explain
Mhm.
these differences. So let me share my screen. Yeah, is the screen visible?
Yes.
Hmm. See, you were right in case of method overloading. So class contains multiple methods with the same name, but the different input parameters. So that is method overloading. Method overriding is the subclass has the same instant method with the same method signature as that of superclass method. So that is method overriding, right? Same uh, parameters in case of method overriding. Now, method name should be the same, but with different number of input parameters. Then method overriding is method signature should be same, but you will have, again, when you say same, so that is both in superclass as well as in subclass. And then you have access modifiers, return type, exceptions. So those all also should be the same. The
Okay.
input parameter list have to be different. The input parameter list should be the same, even their data types and everything. And overloading happens in the same class, and overriding happens in two or more classes through inheritance concept. So method overriding is applicable to inheritance. Okay, so that's how you can explain. Hmm. Now, what is the difference between interface and abstract class?
Interface and abstract class.
Hmm.
So interface is like a group of uh, group of methods of empty bodies.
Mhm.
Like methods in interface will not have a bodies. And abstract class. I think I don't know much about abstract classes.
No worries, no worries. So let me share my screen. Yeah. Is this visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Hmm? See, there are 4 to 5 major differences that you have to explain in case of abstract class and interface. And these
Mm-hmm.
features, these pointers you can remember so that you are able to recall in a real-time interview. First of all, it's about the keyword. Now, when I say keyword, so in case of abstract class, you will have the keyword as abstract. In case of interface, you will have the keyword as abstract. Sorry, to create an abstract class, you have to use the keyword abstract. And to create an abstract, uh, okay, I think there is some typo here. So the keyword will be interface in case of
Okay.
abstract, in case of interface. Then type of variable would be final, non-final, static, and non-static. In an interface, by default, the variables are static and final. Okay. Then final variables in an abstract class, the variables may or may not be declared as final. In interface, the variables by default are declared as final. With respect to access modifiers, so in abstract class, we can have access modifiers like public, private, default, protected. In an interface, we can use only public access modifiers. And then you can explain about type of methods. Last, very important difference is about the constructor. The abstract class can have constructors. The interface cannot have constructors. Okay, so that
Okay.
is the important question, important difference that you can maintain, speak up in an interview. Okay, so now let's, okay. How will you check if a number is palindrome or not? Can you tell me the high level logic for this Java program? So you are not supposed to write the program, but just tell high level logic, what logic you will use.
Uh, palindrome number, like it should
Mm,
be same in original form or reverse form. So
correct.
I first reverse the number
Mm-hmm.
and then check if that original number is similar to reverse number or not. So what I will do is I will first uh, uh, like divide this. I will extract the last digit of the number
Mm-hmm.
with the help of modulus operator and store them into a number, and this is how I will reverse them, and then I will
Mm-hmm.
um, compare them.
Right, right. So there are multiple approaches. What you mentioned is also correct, that you will reverse the number and then you will check them one by one. One more one more approach is you can create a copy of that particular number, and recursively you can pass the copy by the reference and pass the number by value, right? So there is a recursive function that you will be using, and you will
Okay.
start with the number at the place value of thousands, hundredth, tenth, and the last 0 digit. So that's how you can compare one by one.
Okay.
Okay. Now, can you write a program of reversing a string in Java? Let's say the string is
Yes, sir.
your first name itself, right? Now
Mhm.
you are supposed to reverse a string in Java.
Shall I write a program?
Yeah, yeah. So you can write in Notepad or IDE, whichever you are comfortable. You need to click on share screen button, the green color button.
Yeah, I have my ID open.
Mm-hmm. Okay, hold on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. So you're getting the output. So what is your input number? Can you run this program once? Okay.
Uh, Let me just finish this.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No worries, no worries.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great, great. So can you explain the logic of this program?
So, sir, basically, I am using this caret function, due
Mhm.
to which I can get a single characters of the string, and I am running a loop, backward loop, like starting from the last index of the string, and then storing it to uh, reverse string variable. So by this, it will be reversed.
Is there any other approach to reverse the string?
Uh, we can use a string builder as well,
Right,
string
right.
buffer.
Correct, correct. So in a real-time interview, you would be asked such kind of questions. Is there any other approach or is there any other manner to optimize the code? And then you can discuss about other approaches. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So now let me stop sharing your screen. Now I'm sharing my screen and you are supposed to tell the output of this program. So this is a Java program that I'll showcase to you. Yeah. So what would be the output of this Java program? Are you aware about garbage collector?
Garbage collector is used to kind of
Mhm.
clear the memory.
Right, right.
Sir, I'm not sure, like
Mhm.
regarding this coding, what will
No
be
worries.
output.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. So the output here would be, so there are two print statements you can see, right? One
Hmm.
is system.out.println and one is this system.out.println. Okay. So this one will get called. So finalize method gets called because the garbage collector is calling this particular method on an object. So
Hmm.
it will ignore the other exceptions those are raised. So this will be an exception, but it will be ignored and the program will be terminated. And this will be the second output statement that will get generated, right? So these two would be the output. One is the finalize method called and one is the end main here.
Okay. Um, Sir, in order to like call the finalize method, it should be called in main function, right?
Yeah, which one? This one? Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
main
in main
function that
function.
we have. Yeah.
So, in main function, this finalize method is not there. So, is it like called uh, automatically?
This one? Yeah, it has been overridden.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why you're getting this as an output. Okay, now you are telling if
Uh,
this is not, yeah, yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, I am telling that normally we call a method main function, and
Mm-hmm.
then like it runs in main function and execute.
Right.
So finalize method is not there in main function. That's why I'm asking like how it is working.
Okay, how it is working. Okay, so see, uh, this is actually a protected method. This is not a part of main method, but you are trying to override this particular method.
Hmm.
So that's why this particular line is getting executed,
Okay.
right? Okay. Now let's move to the next question. Are you aware about constructor chaining?
No, sir.
Okay. So what is okay? So what is constructor chaining? So constructor chaining is nothing but it's a technique in Java that allows other constructors to call, I mean, that will allow constructors to call other constructors in the same class, right? So you are aware about constructors and the type of constructors, right?
The type of constructor I'm not able like for all.
Okay, no worries. So there are two types of constructors. One is the parameterized constructor and one is the default constructor. Default constructor is by default created whenever you have that class, and it will be created with the same name of class. In case of constructor chaining, what would happen is you can accomplish this kind of mechanism, constructor chaining, using this keyword, which will refer to the currently constructed object itself.
Okay.
Okay. So now what I would do is I'll show you a kind of a constructor chaining program. Yeah. So you can also do constructor chaining using this keyword and using super keyword as well. Okay. Is my screen visible to you?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, just a second. Let me. Yeah. Now is it visible?
No, sir.
No, it's not visible. Okay. Now are you able
Yeah.
to see the
Now it
screen?
is.
Yeah. So
Yes,
what
yes.
we have done here is we are trying to use the this keyword, right? And this is an example of how you can use the constructor chaining mechanism. It can happen with the help of this keyword. It can happen with the help of super keyword as well. So output of this program would be, see, output would be one is the default constructor. This line will get printed, one parameterized constructor and two parameterized constructors. So this will be the output of this program. Yeah. Right. And we have used this keyword here. So this keyword will invoke the default constructor, and this keyword again we have used here. And at the end, we are just creating an object to get print of two parameterized constructor. This is one parameterized, this is two parameterized, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, how will you read an Excel file in Java?
Um, I don't know, sir.
Okay. So in order to read the Excel file in Java, you can use Apache POI, right? So what is Apache
Okay.
POI? Apache POI is a third-party library. It is available for reading and writing Microsoft documents in both the formats, .xls as well as .xlsx, right? So it contains classes and interface, as Java itself does not has any functionality to read the file. So we'll be using Apache POI, right? So which
Okay.
is the automation framework that you have worked on?
Uh, Selenium and right now I'm working with Cypress.
Okay, fine. So no worries. So if you get such kind of a question in an interview, then
Mhm.
let me show you few more details on this. So I was mentioning you about the interface and classes, that there are there in the Apache PY. So these are the interfaces that you can use when you are trying to automate. Generally, if the company in which you are getting interviewed, they are using data driven framework, or they are
Yeah.
trying to read some files from an Excel file, then this kind of
Yeah.
question you might get. In case of
Yeah.
interface,
Because
sorry, yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, like we first create workbook and then see,
Hmm.
then get the rows and columns with
Right,
this.
right. So these are the various interfaces. One is workbook. So it represents the Excel workbook itself. It is an interface implemented by HSSF workbook. Then the other interface is sheet, right? Then comes row. So again in row, it would represent the row of the spreadsheet. If you want to read the data from some particular row, that is row A is there, B is there, C. Then if you want to read the data from some particular cell, then you can go for cell. Cell is also one of the interface, right? And these are the classes, right? So HSSF workbook, it is a class representing the XLS file. HSSF sheet, it is a class representing the sheet in an XLS file. So this is all with respect to XLS files. Sheet, workbook, sheet, row, cell. Similarly, interface related to workbook, sheet, row, cell, right? Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Fine. Now, what do you mean by abstraction?
Uh, Abstraction is like used for the uh, hiding the data, some sensitive information.
Mm-hmm,
Uh, like suppose we do not want to uh, expose some data to the user, so we
mm-hmm.
will use abstraction there.
Right, right. So can you give me a real-time example?
Uh, uh, I can show you like by coding maybe.
Yeah, you can showcase by code. That's great. If you are able to showcase with the help of code, then that will really help in an interview.
Can you help me, sir? Like, yeah, please.
Sorry?
Abstraction. Where do we give abstraction?
Yeah, you are asking something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any example related to abstraction you can showcase.
Like, this is a abstract method,
Mm-hmm.
and we can like, inherit some other class. So in this, we have created an abstract method which with empty bodies, and this is implemented in test class. So uh, like
Mhm.
the user will see like uh, user will see what data is exposed in test class, but not in the abstract example class.
Okay. Can you showcase that abstract thing that you created, abstraction example.java file? Yeah, what did you mention here? Public abstract void example. Okay. And you are using this in the main program, which is test.java itself. Okay. Fine. So what is the line number 8 doing here? Test.example.
So test dot example is calling this method example
Mhm.
method we
Which
have
you have
created
written
an
down. Okay. Okay. Great. Yeah.
yes.
So this is one of the program. You can also write one more program. So let me share my screen. Hmm. See, these are the two programs. So that is also fine, which you have written. And this also you can add in an interview. So first is we have created one abstract class bike. Okay. Now we have this class Honda, which is extending bike, right? And we have this method void run system.out.println running safely. And then I am having a main method. In that I'm creating an object and obj.run, right? So it will give you the output running safely. Apart from this, you can also take one more example in which we create the instance of rectangle class, right? So this is one of the class, abstract class shape and abstract void draw. So this is the method, right? In a real-time scenario, what would happen? Implementation is provided by others. As you mentioned, it is unknown to the end user. For example, you can take an example of ATM machine. When you go to take out the money, you don't know what is happening at the backend, right? So similar on the similar lines, you can write this program also. So this is one class which is extending shape, and this is the method void draw within it. Now what we are doing is class circle one, it will extend shape. This is the shape, right? So in class circle one, you have got drawing circle. In void draw, you have got drawing rectangle, right? So now when you create the main method and if you create an object, so you can get this object is provided through this method itself, right? So it will be calling
Yes.
get shape method, right? So that's how this kind of abstraction program also you can write. Okay, this is also one, this is second program. Okay. Okay, now what do you mean by encapsulation in Java?
uh, Encapsulation.
Mm-hmm.
So encapsulation is like kind of process of wrapping up the data in a single unit. um, it is like to bind the data into a single code, like uh, single class.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let this be an open question for the people who are watching this video. What is encapsulation in Java? And please provide a real-time example in the comment section of this video, right? So, Sundaram, I am done with the core Java interview. Thank you so much. And I would request you